Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Dat Liu. I'm an organizer with Champaign-Urbana DSA in Illinois, pronouns he, him, and I'm here to talk about the wage equity for all and a living wage for Social Security resolution. Um, the other folks were co-authors of their respective resolutions. I am not an author of this resolution. This resolution was authored by David Zoltan, DSA and Disability Working Group member, who isn't here today because of wellness reasons. So I'm speaking on his behalf. So please send them well wishes and your solidarity if you can. As far as this resolution goes, um, Social Security indexes payments to a minimum wage that is long outdated and completely insufficient. So Social Security disability pays slightly more, but rejects 90% of applicants, vast majority of people who apply. The minimum wage right now hasn't been changed for uh, years, decades. So uh, it is well overdue for this to change to meet the rising cost of living that everyone is experiencing as part of the working class, except for, of course, the capitalist one. So we are proposing that we update the DSA's definition of what constitutes a living wage to $26 an hour, and then index it to inflation to ensure that all labor is valued appropriately. Other countries outside the United States um, have indexed their minimum wage to inflation so that they don't get the issue of their minimum wage being insufficient to meet the needs of their working class. But America, a typical uh, in typical uh, exceptionalist uh, manner, has decided not to do this. So as far as uh, continuing on, um, oop, my apologies, everyone. My screen was going haywire there for a second. So of course, we're demanding that Social Security and Social Security disability is not subject to any means testing, so any asset limits, income limits. These are things that are resulting in this enormous amount of rejected applicants. And this is resulting in people not getting the funds and resources they need to survive in a very precarious era where it's increasingly harder, of course, for working class people to um, make it in our capitalist society. Um, and of course, using Social Security, um, uh, like we want to use the new minimum wage in order for Social Security to be calculated for the benefits that are provided to people um, at this new increased rate. Um, all right. So it is unacceptable that in an effort to prevent fraud and abuse of the Social Security system, the vast majority of disabled people fail to get benefits at all. So rather than acting as a blockade to benefits, the government must make the human and civil rights of its citizens its first priority uh, by implementing these changes uh, to their broken system right now so that their citizens can be taken care of. Um, and as it currently stands, uh, the marginalization of disabled people and the elderly who rely on Social Security, um, at its current state, is oppressive and demeaning, and it actively encourages ableism and ageism, and how ideas and various forms of labors and wisdom are applied to public square, and yeah, like we should be centering those who are at the confines and borders of society, in our efforts to uh, improve their well-being. So uh, DSA already recognizes that we are overdue for a minimum wage, um, for a living wage, um, and so we need to meet the material conditions of the time, and make the appropriate changes necessary. So there may be pushback on this. I would imagine that those within the socialist movement who may have concerns about this may do so over the fact that there has been already tons and tons of efforts to try and change it to a mere $15. And not everywhere across the nation is that even finished. Well, I believe that in response to that, um, the fight for $15 has been going on forever, and not forever, but like quite a long time. And at this moment, it is outdated, and we have to adapt as necessary to the conditions of the time if we as DSA want to be a vehicle for a working class movement in the future. There's no other organization as large as DSA who is making significant effort to discuss the fact that $15 minimum wage isn't enough, and that Social Security should adapt to that. We with this resolution can just like our pandemic justice organization um, resolution, define the moment, with what the left can be, what the left can do. Um, so that's what I would say for that. For those who are saying that people already receive Social Security money, it's only a fraction of the current minimum wage, and this you know is wholly insufficient to meet the needs of so many people, um, when cost of living is so high in a variety of different places. Um, and we shouldn't uh, settle for the absolute bare minimum. It's degrading and disgusting. And we should always strive for more socialists. Um, and then people should just get jobs and not need Social Security. Well, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Labor should not be mandatory for basic human rights. We are not just our capacity to make profit for the capitalist class. We should not need to do that in order for our basic human flourishment to be available to us. And that's about it for me.